text the show at 573-875-KTGR. The Big Show starts now.
You bet it does. Welcome into Wednesday's edition of The Big Show on your total sports station, KTGR. Andy Humphrey and Brendan Schaefer here on your Thanksgiving Eve, getting you set for what should be a massive weekend of football and other things. There could be lots and lots of other things that take place outside the lines. It could be quite impactful, Brendan.
Other things are still more than possible, for better or worse. We're living here in other things land, I think, for a little while longer.
Yeah. So talk more about that. It appears that the curators meeting has happened or is happening. I don't know how long it goes, whatever it is. We don't know what's happening in it because it's closed. So I guess we'll find out at some point what they said and what it means. Probably not today, but we'll see. Call or text us with what you think. 875-KTGR. In the meantime, we'll talk about the games. How do you think Mizzou's going to do against Arkansas? Brendan's scared.
I'm terrified. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about his fears. We'll talk about Chiefs Cowboys and my fears for the Chiefs tomorrow for that game, which will be very important for their playoff push. And of course, our picks of the week at 5:45. This will be our last show of the week, so we'll get you set for our picks of the week. The producers will join us for that. They will also join us for our Big Show Thanksgiving draft. Brendan, you ready to draft some foods?
Yes, I am. This always gets me excited for the days to come because I can kind of plot it out, like a professional athlete might visualize the big game they've got the next day. You lay your head on that pillow and you're Dak Prescott. You're thinking about hitting CD Lamb on a deep shot. You're thinking about, getting the ball in George Pickens' hands, making something happen. Okay, how do you dissect that Chiefs secondary? In our case, my case anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, all right, what's that plate going to look like for dinner on Thanksgiving? This is our opportunity to really visualize what's to come. So you got to love it.
Got to try and build your best plate. We'll try to do that. The producers will try to do that as they join us at 4:25 for the Big Show Thanksgiving draft. Call or text us at 573-875-KTGR. We're live on YouTube and Facebook as well. YouTube.com/@KTGR Sports. Also Facebook.com/KTGR Big Show.
Now, the Big Show's Big Deal.
It's a closed executive session for the University of Missouri Board of Curators this afternoon. We're not sure if the meeting has ended yet or not, but according to the reports, it is pertaining to Eli Drinkwitz and whether there will be a contract extension in his future at the University of Missouri. Now, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports said last night that this is basically a meeting to authorize a proposed deal, but not a finalized deal to Eli Drinkwitz, and seems to indicate that this could be the first step of several steps in the process to lock him down and keep him at Mizzou, despite him being rumored as a candidate for several other head coaching jobs across college football. It would seem unlikely, if that is true, that we hear an announcement today about an Eli Drinkwitz contract extension. We don't know when that might be. But that is the Big Show's big deal on this 26th day of November 2025. You can call or text us at 875-KTGR. I mean, right as we were talking about it on air yesterday, Brendan, it seemed that we knew about the meeting, that it was happening. It was obviously very curious timing, 3 p.m., the day right before Thanksgiving. They don't give a reason for what the meetings are about. But once, the digging started from great, talented folks like Gabe DeArmond at PowerMizzou.com, Eli Hoff, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Cal McAndrew, Columbia Daily Tribune, so many others. It seemed that, the meeting's about Eli Drinkwitz. And so there was that. It gave, I'm sure, Mizzou fans hope of okay, they're just going to have this meeting and they're going to announce an extension soon after, which I guess could still happen. But Ross Dellinger's tweet last night, and also maybe a similar one from Pat Forty this morning of Sports Illustrated, seemed to indicate that, okay, they want to do this, but it may not be done after just this meeting.
Yeah. So what do you make of that? What do you make of the local media between Columbia and St. Louis alike?
Yeah.
Laying out the optimism when this curators meeting is discovered as something that's happening. And then a couple hours later, after that sort of lay of the land is out there, now suddenly you've got the national media weighing in and not, I wouldn't say, well, maybe, yeah, kind of correcting the record a little bit.
Yeah.
Not that anything was reported incorrectly, but the framing of it, somebody felt the framing of it needed to be adjusted. Otherwise, Ross Dellinger, Pat Forty, those folks don't end up weighing in. Forty, his tweet, I'll read it as follows from this morning. This is a request for approval to open dialogue on a new contract for Eli Drinkwitz. The beginning of the process, not the end.
And like, look, the people might say, oh, those are national, got well connected to Mizzou. 40's an alum, and I believe Dellinger used to cover Mizzou, right? Yeah. So
I have no idea on that one, but
they are very closely connected to this school.
But I think they're also connected on the national level to the happenings in college football. The both of them, in particular, Ross Dellinger, we know is on top of a lot of the national stories. I can't think of anybody that would be more national than a Jimmy Sexton, Eli Drinkwitz's agent. So I don't consider it good news that the national folks are weighing in after everybody locally comes up with all of this optimism, saying, hey, this looks like this thing's gonna happen. Like, this is awesome news for Mizzou to be able to keep Eli Drinkwitz, like, signed, sealed, delivered. This is all just a formality. And then the clarification comes. Why would the clarification come? Because somebody felt that the way the narrative was out there needed to be clarified. Am I wrong? Would that not be a reason? And so who would be doing the clarifying? Drinks Camp, in my opinion, would be doing the clarifying. So that's why it's a concern to me. That's why I think it's something to pay attention to. Because if it was as everybody locally reported it, which, again, nobody was incorrect about it. They said, hey, this is all going to be related to Eli Drinkwitz. We don't know what it means definitively, but we can guess at it. And that's kind of what we were doing yesterday based on those reports, is guessing at it. The fact that that's kind of going on and that's the pervasive narrative, and then a little while later, the powers that be step in and say, yeah, so like a little bit more clarity on what this actually is. Basically, those tweets could have, in my opinion, just read, hey, Mizzou fans, don't get too excited just yet. There's still ways to go in this whole thing. That's a concern. Now, why would that be? Why would that be that someone in Drinkwitz's camp would feel like, hey, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here? I think the answer is because we still don't know what's going on with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, and look, like this meeting for the curators, like I would understand why they would have to still do it now, even if the deal theoretically, like let's just say hypothetically, deal's not agreed upon. Like Drinkwitz and Mizzou, like they're talking, but they haven't said like, okay, yeah, we're all good with this. I think the curators probably still need to have some action done today so that you can have the authority to put an offer on the table for a drink that he can sign, and then it's done. Like instead of having to wait until Monday.
Monday's too late.
Right? Like, yeah. So like you've got to do this now to at least give yourself the ability to lock down Drinkwitz within the next few days, which if you want to keep ready. Him. Yeah, exactly. When he's ready. So like he can have every option on the table, and just whatever option he chooses, like you don't have to waste any more time with anything else.
Nothing procedural,
no more red tape or anything like that.
Yeah. It's fascinating to me because it would seem like if it were as simple as Lane Kiffin knows he's going to LSU, everybody's thought that for a week. They're going to make an announcement on Saturday. He's playing the Egg Bowl. He's coaching the Egg Bowl on Friday. Everybody assumes if you're making an announcement, that's probably not an announcement that you're staying, because otherwise, why wouldn't you just do it a week ago when they announced the announcement that was impending, right? Yep. Okay, so we all agree with that. If you're Eli Drinkwitz, he shares the same agent with Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy Sexton is well respected by all of his clients to the point where, like, I've read articles that have talked about it and said, I don't ever have to worry that he's going to betray my trust to another client, just because he's a rival coach of mine. Like, Jimmy Sexton's as good as they come. They all trust their guy. I think on some level, though, like Jimmy Sexton has to at least, not saying like he's the master puppeteer, but I'm not saying that he's not. Like he has to probably have an understanding of where different guys are leaning in their decisions. Feels like Kiffin's going to be the first domino to fall. Could it be that the agent's opinion is like, yeah, Kiffin's going to LSU, but I've also been around Lane Kiffin long enough to know that maybe Friday night he changes his mind on what I expect. And so I've got Eli Drinkwitz ready. There's a contract in hand. If this goes the way it's supposed to, Kiffin to LSU, then all right, why wouldn't Drink return to Missouri with hopefully a boost for NIL and all the things that he's wanted, according to everybody that's reported on this, according to things Drink has said himself, like perfect. That would be a great scenario. I still feel like if Lane Kiffin throws the industry a curveball, Mizzou is going to get screwed. That is my opinion, because I don't see what the holdup would be if it's not the Lane Kiffin stuff. Drinkwitz reported to be the number 2, according to the LSU's desires. Florida may still think they're getting Lane Kiffin. And so if they don't, would they then panic and bring Drinkwitz back in, even though it's been reported that they're not really...
They don't want him, right?
That they don't want him. So I still feel like it all comes down to Lane Kiffin. If the Kiffin stuff happens as it's supposed to, Mizzou should be sitting pretty. This is just my conjecture and read on the situation. But again, I find it to be very relevant, not just a footnote, that national media were correcting or updating the record on what we all assumed at 4:30 or 4:45 yesterday. That feels relevant in a way that I'm not enjoying. So it feels like this thing's not over until it's over.
Certainly not. The coaching cares. Like you have to have something signed to feel safe about anything that could happen.
And even
in this sport, just coaches, players, recruits, whatever. Yeah.
But like even signing something in theory, if you wanted to go off the wall, like Penn State thinks they're getting Kalen DeBoer. I don't think that.
I mean,
but what if Auburn wins the Iron Bowl and suddenly you've got an opening at Alabama that nobody saw coming? Does that not shake up the hierarchy of the entire conversation?
Oh yeah.
So
sure does.
I still think.
Do they go after Lane if that happens? You think?
There might be enough bad blood there. He deserted his post after he was on staff there. Yeah. He deserted for the national championship game. Steve Sarkisian was on staff. He came in and called the offense for that game, if I'm recalling this correctly. Maybe be some bad blood there with Lane Kiffin in Alabama to where that wouldn't be ideally the way that it would go down. But I don't think we have any idea. That would be like the curveball of all curveballs. The standard curveball that I wouldn't be shocked is if Lane Kiffin randomly decides to do something different than what everybody expects him to do. Even if the overwhelming likelihood feels like he's going to LSU, Mizzou keeps Drink, that's probably the overwhelming likelihood for a reason. But it feels gross a little bit that like all of these gears are turning. You got to get the curators meeting done before the holiday, but that we really can't feel great about what happens with Drink until Lane Kiffin's situation is settled. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not saying he's doing anything other than, keeping his options open for the best possible situation for him and his family and all that good stuff. Stinks as a Mizzou fan, though, because that's how it feels. I know if he ends up staying, it will be portrayed in a way that was like, that was never leaving. That was never a possibility.
Yeah.
But I think there's enough going on right now that if they don't announce the contract before the Arkansas game, I won't be able to believe that, even if I'm like sticking my head in the sand and intentionally being delusional about it. I won't even be able to believe that if I want to believe that, if this thing doesn't get announced prior to the Arkansas game. That's just my opinion.
Oh, we shouldn't believe anything until we actually see the official announcement. I think.
No, but even if we see the announcement, but it comes later, that tells me, man, Drink really waited till the last second to make sure that LSU opening wasn't going to come calling. And that would feel kind of...
Would you feel irked? If you're, as a Mizzou fan, would you feel irked by that?
Yeah, but I think in the grand scheme, it wouldn't ultimately matter.
Yeah.
Especially if we're getting the NIL that Drink wants here. Like, it'll make me a little bit on guard for future carousels, potentially. I would be irked, though. I do think there's a difference in getting it announced before Saturday's game versus getting it announced after. Because what happens in between those two things, Andy, is the official confirmation of Lane Kiffin. We think that's the way that they have billed it. So that would feel like if you're just waiting that out to make sure that you didn't have a better offer come along, I think if you announce it before Saturday, you won't necessarily, like, Drink gets the full benefit of the doubt if it's announced beforehand, because he can say, well, what do you mean? I told you guys to shut up about this carousel crap. I had nothing to do with it. And before it all came to a head after the regular season, I was already signed, sealed, delivered to return to Missouri. There was nothing to talk about. So why would anybody imply otherwise?
There would be no reason to sign something and not announce until for a while. That's the thing.
There would not be a reason to. There would be nobody's benefit to sign it today and know that it's happening and not announce it until after the Arkansas game. I get it. You announced a deal right before Kentucky a few years ago and then lost to Kentucky. You could lose Arkansas. It's like a 2-point spread. You could wait till after and announce it, and then it feels even dumber. So no, you would announce it beforehand if it was done beforehand. I feel pretty confident in that. And because of the narrative that would form of, really, you waited until after Kiffin told the world what he was going to do to say you wanted to come back to Mizzou. I don't think it's like the end of the world, but it would feel kind of like, okay, like. But again,
I think it depends on the job that he's taking. If it's LSU, like, are we sure that that's not an unreasonable thing for him to be doing? Like, take the LSU job if it's open, right? I think that's the case.
Do you think Eli Drinkwitz should do that?
Well, I'm not saying it's what he should do, but I'm saying if you put the two jobs up against each other, LSU I think is still the better job. And so, like, if you're a Mizzou fan, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be upset by Eli Drinkwitz leaving. You should be, because he's a damn good coach and he's brought Mizzou to some really good heights.
Which, by the way, he's not leaving. The way you phrased that sounded a little. We don't know that he's leaving. You're talking in hypotheticals.
Right. Yeah. I'm talking in hypotheticals here. If he theoretically goes to LSU, that would be perceived as a step up in job. And I think that would be the right perception. Now, if he went to Auburn or Florida, that's different. Because sure. I think those, at least nowadays, are viewed as more lateral moves.
But if the options are LSU or come back to Mizzou, and you wait until all the way after LSU's coach has been announced, the optics of that will be what they are.
Yeah, I understand.
If you were to do it beforehand, that would show Mizzou fans, even if it's not totally true, the perception would very verifiably, like, he would have the benefit of the doubt of, never was I looking at LSU or Penn State or anywhere else. Like, I don't know where that all came from. Like, he'd be able to say that. And there wouldn't be anybody that would be able to go, I don't know if I believe him. Like, the optics of that would look really, really good if you announce it before LSU makes their announcement. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
so, like, if you know, maybe you know beforehand and LSU doesn't quite announce before you do, then you'd be like, okay, yeah, let's get it out there because I want to be first.
You'd really hope you're right about the Kiffin thing. But I should think if anybody's going to be right about the Kiffin thing, it should be Drink, because
same agent.
It's the same agent. Like, at some point, if you're number 2 for a job, and the same agency, the same guy is who represents the other guy that's likely to take the job. But my thing is, if Sexton doesn't know because Lane's a wild card, then he's not going to be able to, he wants the best for all his clients. I'm not saying he's showing favoritism, but it's very clear that the market has dictated that, like, Lane's got to decide first and then everything else can happen. That's why I'm not saying it's realistic or reasonable to say, like, I would want it to be announced before. I would want Drink to take the LSU thing off the table before they take it off for him. But if he were to do it that way, it would win some pretty good points, I think, with the fan base.
Absolutely.
That may not matter, because what really is going to win Drink points with the fan base is staying, recruiting, and winning. All will be forgiven if you win. But, like, so far, he hasn't really done anything wrong. I'm not even saying it would be wrong to wait till later on Saturday, but I think the perception win that he could have, if this is all something that gets announced before we know definitively on Kiffin, that would look really, really good for his commitment to Missouri and how Missouri fans feel about him. That's my prediction on just kind of some of the narrative stuff.
Call or text us at 573-875-KTGR. James saying, what a great position Drink is in. Mizzou wants to give him another raise and extension, and other schools want to fill his pockets to poach him away.
Yep.
I mean, yeah,
he'll never have this leverage again. That's a possibility that, like, for the next 4 years, Mizzou goes 7-5 or 8-4 every year, which wouldn't even be bad against those schedules. Right. And, like, that would be fine. And yet, I don't think the leverage will be the same the longer he stays here. And so that's why I think he was probably listening to a lot of these potential landing spots. And it just may be that he didn't get offered one, or maybe he got offered Penn State, but it wasn't a better enough offer than what he knew he could get at Missouri to force him to leave, because he and his family like being here. Like, I think that's legit when people tell you that. I think that's real. And so, maybe Penn State was going to offer him. There's reports that they were close, but it fell through, or whatever the reason was. maybe they weren't ponying up enough in the same way that Drink's trying to get more out of Missouri. Maybe he said, here's what I would need to come to Penn State, or the agent told him, I don't know. And it fell through. I have no idea. But now that Eric Morris is off the board, I don't think there's a good fallback at all. If Drink had left and Morris was still out there, I would have said, try to go get him because you can probably get the quarterback too. And there's your quarterback question answered. Like, at least you got somewhere to start with. If Drink left now, it would be rough. I don't know where Mizzou would turn.
We'll see. 573-875-KTGR if you want to call or text us with your thoughts on the situation. Again, we're looking to see if there are any updates from the Board of Curators meeting, but likely not for a while.
Thamel. We're still cheering for you, Pete.
Pete Thamel, maybe Ross Dellinger. I don't know.
Dellinger
could
whichever
be
one of them wants to confirm that Drink is staying, then that's the one that I'll be.
There you go.
I'll be clinging to.
But we shall see what happens there. 573-875-5847 if you want to call or text us. We'll have our predictions a little bit later. We might not get to everything that we planned to get to. Like, technically, this is when we do SEC football tiers, so like we could get to that. I don't know if we actually will.
Maybe we make them quick.
I mean, there's not really much to change, though. Nobody lost. Really, nobody was supposed to lose.
Nobody played. There were no games
That's
besides
true.
ours.
No good games, at least.
No.
Like, there's that. So, like, maybe the tiers just stay the same. I don't know. But we will have our predictions for Mizzou, Arkansas, our predictions for Chiefs, Cowboys. We'll have our picks of the week at 5:45. I think we should get a little play, fade, eliminate in before the weekend too, because you need to set your lineup for tomorrow morning. Like, you got to be ready, up and at 'em, because that starts at 11 o'clock, right?
I think it's noon. I thought it was 11 as well, but for some reason it's noon now. The sign that you have a good fantasy team is if all your players are playing tomorrow, because there are some really good NFL offenses involved in the 3-game, 6-team slate tomorrow. And I've got some leagues where all my players play tomorrow, and I'm like, I guess this means I'm doing pretty well in fantasy this year.
We'll see. But call or text us with what you think. 875-KTGR. We'll have a little play, fade, eliminate. You can text in fantasy football questions to us. We'll try to get to them a little later on in the show. In the meantime, we've got serious business to get to. Brendan joked in our promo that this is actually what the curators are discussing. Who's going to win the Big Show Thanksgiving draft coming up in a few minutes? We'll be joined by one of the producers on the KTGR hotline for that. So be ready to tune in as we make our picks for the best Thanksgiving foods here on the Big Show, KTGR.
The Big Show with Andy and Brendan continues next on your total sports station, KTGR.
Hey, it's Andy and Brendan here with Underdog Fantasy. It is feast week on Underdog, which means you can fire up your app, and all throughout the rest of this week, Underdog will give you special daily promos that can help out your entry, can help you pay it out a little bit more, help you out with a gimme pick that you can add into the other picks that you're going higher or lower on player stats for, and you could win up to 5,000 times your money. And Brendan, with NBA tonight, it's kind of the appetizer to the football that we're going to have this weekend. What do you like?
I really can't help myself when it comes to big men and three-pointers. I like higher than 1.5 made three-pointers by Julius Randle and higher than 1.5 made three-pointers by Chet Holmgren in the same game. Both of these guys like to let it fly, so I'm putting them both together for my Underdog entry.
So take picks like that, put them in your entry, go higher or lower on player stats. And again, if you get all those picks right, you win. And you could win up to 5,000 times your money, depending on how many picks you have in that entry. So download the Underdog app during Feast Week. Check out all those daily promos they have. Use our promo code KTGR as well to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code KTGR. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
KTGR and MU Healthcare Sports Medicine are highlighting a local athlete each week. It's the KTGR Athlete Spotlight.
This week features Battle senior guard Talon Kemp, who helps the Spartans' shooting efforts with 4 3-pointers, 16 points, and 5 assists in Battle's 75-42 victory over Kirkwood to open the regular season.
That's the KTGR Athlete Spotlight, thanks to MU Healthcare Sports Medicine, providing everything athletes need to be and stay at their best, because they're competitors too.
When it comes to tree care, knowledge matters. And Advanced Tree Solutions doesn't just cut, they care, educate, communicate, and protect the health of your trees. From pruning to removal to planting, their expertise goes beyond the surface. They're known for properly planting trees, removing burlap and wire cages from the root ball to ensure long-term growth and strength. With expert service and yearly discounts, your trees are in good hands. Call Eric at Advanced Tree Solutions, your tree's best friend. AdvancedTreeSolutionsLLC.com.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Free-for-all RV Road Warriors, your best blast of Branson just turned into a bad day bummer. You ran out of gas, blew a tire, killed your battery, are sitting sideways in a ditch, and managed to lock yourselves out. Ouch. Hey, it could happen. And for the save, you call I-70 Towing. They're Mid-Missouri's go-to crew for roadside assistance, too. Fuel, tires, batteries, locks, winching, you name it. When your world seems to have been wrecked, call the team they hope you never have to meet. I-70towing.com. Now serving Boonville. Winching.
If you're tired of telling that one guy that, yes, meetings are mandatory, and you're done doing so-and-so's projects because, well, they just couldn't get to it, then maybe it's time to revamp your team with MidmoHires.com. Post your open positions along with a description of the job, pay, location, and other info too. You don't have to put up with someone's shenanigans for much longer. Post your openings now at MidmoHires.com. Great local companies hiring great local people. MidmoHires.com.
Pro Designs, but better than a billboard.
Hey, this is Jimmy with Pro Designs, and maybe you've heard, we're the vehicle wrap specialist, but branding your business doesn't stop there. At Pro Designs, we can wrap your walls, windows, even floors.
Go to ProDesigns.com.
Come see them at their locations in Eldon or Columbia off Rangeline Street and I-70.
Pro Designs, but better than a billboard.
Your daily fix of local sports lives here. This is The Big Show on KTGR.
Getting set for Thanksgiving weekend here on The Big Show, KTGR and the KTGR app with Andy and Brendan. And we're getting set for our Big Show Thanksgiving draft as well. I'm trying to make sure the tweets are all situated, Brendan. It's a very involved process. But yes, I hope you've been studying up on your big board on how you want to approach this.
Not really. No, I think
Right.
Historically I've done so well with this that I shouldn't really even need to prepare. I think I can just roll into it.
You didn't just go? All right.
I'm being a little cocky this year, I think.
A little bit, I think. But I guess we'll see if that pays off. I think I can get the music up going here, and so we'll get that. All right, cool. Joining us as well on the KTGR hotline to represent the producers in our Big Show Thanksgiving draft is producer Ben. Do we have producer Ben? Hello.
Hello. How is everyone doing out there? Can you guys got me? Can
Yeah,
you hear
we
me?
do.
Yes.
We
hear
you.
Yes, we've got producer Ben, and hopefully he's getting just as hungry as we are for our Big Show Thanksgiving draft. We'll keep the same rules as last year, Brendan. We will go with everyone gets turkey and gravy on their plate. We're not really choosing it. That's assumed. And so we'll keep that the standard. You get one non-turkey entree. So it could be some sort of meat, whatever it is. Then 3 sides, a bread, and a dessert. So that's 6 picks right there. Like it?
I like it.
Okay.
This is like one of our few drafts where I usually have no problem with the rules, and I don't try to break them.
Well, that's always appreciated. Doesn't happen.
Some things are sacred.
Yeah. Yes, Thanksgiving, we don't mess with that. How do we decide the order? You want to decide the order, Brendan?
You'll claim to have used the random number generator, and somehow you end up with the best pick. I don't know.
No,
It's
it
usually how
doesn't
goes.
always happen, but I will once again do that so that we can have some sort of random element to
Watch
this.
this magic happen, everybody. He's going to say it's random.
it's gonna be great. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, didn't work out that way, I suppose.
What does 3, 2, 1 mean? You didn't really assign numbers to anybody.
So 1 is me, 2 is you, 3 is the producers.
Okay.
So producers are going to go first here.
It's a
then
snake
Brendan.
draft, though.
It is a snake draft. So
you're in
we
a
will
great
snake
spot.
this. I don't know. I mean, it's you guys get to make picks before me, though. You get to take the best stuff before I get to it. So, I mean,
okay, Ben, what this means is we cannot mess this up, because if we give him 2 great options at the turn, picks 3 and 4, it's going to be ugly.
Yes, I agree. I got you. We can play team ball if we need to, Brendan.
Okay, so the producers are going to go up first here. You get, again, 3 sides, 1 non-turkey entree that's some sort of meat. Usually that's what it ends up being. A dessert and a bread. Where are you going to go first?
And I can do any of these first. It does not matter when I get it.
Does not matter. Any order you want.
Okay, then I will go 1-1. I'll have to just go. I want it, my favorite Thanksgiving side. I want it at the 1-1. Give me stuffing.
It's a good pick.
All right.
Kid knows what he's doing.
Should I put stuffing / dressing, because there's a debate as to what it – okay, just stuffing.
You should be normal and say stuffing.
I mean, that's what I call it too. I just know that
we're
there are
all
others
agreement.
that call it other things.
We're not going to kowtow to the dressing contingent.
Good.
Yeah, there's a right way to do this draft. If you've got the first 2 picks, you got to either take stuffing, or in my opinion, what I'm going to pick here, mashed potatoes. Those are the 2 that had to go off the board before Andy could take consecutive picks here at picks 3 and 4. So I will go mashed potatoes with my gravy, which I was so graciously given by our host automatically to begin the draft.
Well, yeah, we all get it. So that's good stuff. So, all right. I mean, those are the 2 top sides. So I
think there's a tier break after that.
Sure. I kind of like what's available to me, though. Give me corn casserole for my next one. Up there with, I think, the best sides in all of Thanksgiving dinner. That doesn't get the same kind of pub, but packs the same type of punch. You get hit exactly as hard on the field as you do by mashed potatoes and by stuffing by corn casserole. Just saying.
All right. That's a good speech. I enjoyed that.
All right. And now with my wraparound pick, I'm going to take the non-turkey entree, and I'm going to keep it simple. Give me ham.
Going with ham.
Ham.
There's scarcity, right? You only have one option with the entree situation, so you got yours out of the way early. Not a big ham fan.
Not really, but personally. I mean, there's several options that you can go with, a little bit outside the box. I'm keeping it simple this year because you guys had the traditional picks, I think, for the sides, and so I'm gonna make sure that I at least have my traditional element, and then try to find value elsewhere.
And I'll take a pick that I don't know how traditional it is, but I like it. I'm going mac and cheese. It's a bit of a risk.
Oh, look,
it's my second side, but I feel good about it.
Mac and cheese is a good side on Thanksgiving Day. So mashed potatoes and mac and cheese so far is what Brendan has. I have ham and corn casserole. The producers have stuffing. What else will you go? You got 2 picks here, producers.
All righty. I think I'll keep it. Gosh. I got my big board pulled up, and there's a lot of different ways I can go with this one. I'll go with another side, one that I always really like, just pretty standard, pretty simple with it, and just corn. Just straight up corn.
Standard corn.
I have it off the cob.
Corn off the cob. Okay. All right.
But I will go off the cob specifically for that. And with my next wraparound pick, I already have 2 sides. What do I want to go to? I want to go the non-turkey. Do I want to do the dessert, the bread? Ooh, gosh. I will go to the non-turkey. And I like Andy's ham pick. It's probably one that I would go for, but he already got it. So I will do one that very popular, at least with my Thanksgiving, and that's duck. I love some duck on Thanksgiving. Not a whole lot of it, but just a little bit. And that's what I'll take for my non-turkey entree. Give me duck.
I like it.
It's kind of fancy. I'm digging it.
You're not turducken, just duck.
No.
I think we're just going
Just
with the duck.
duck.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
All right.
All right.
Here's
back to
where
back.
I'm sitting, and I like my spot right now. Sometimes people play. Obviously, this has kind of inspired this draft by the notion of a DFS draft on Thanksgiving Day when you got your quarterbacks, your running backs, your wide receivers. I love to be wide receiver heavy when it comes to fantasy football, and I feel the same way about sides. The sides make the meal. So my first 3 picks are going to be all sides. I'm going green bean casserole to lock in a semblance of a vegetable. There's a vegetable in it, but it's still a delicious thing because of all the crispies and everything else you got on it. So green bean casserole feels like a great way to. And now I'm done. I'm checked out on all the sides.
I think it's overrated.
Oh no, it's really good.
No, I think it's overrated. I think a lot of people say it's really good, but they will gobble up their other sides on their plate before they finish.
Yeah, but I felt obligated to have, because if I didn't get it, what's the vegetable side that's left that I would have felt really good about? I just needed to placate the folks who would say my plate didn't have enough color disparity on it. I needed something green-ish.
Okay. Doing our big show Thanksgiving draft. You can call or text us with what you want to see drafted here on our big board. I've got 2 picks here. My next side, let's see. I'm going to wait on the side for just a bit. I'm going to take the bread off the board for now. I'm going to take cornbread. I know I already have corn casserole, but
I love you some corn.
I mean, look, this is the best type of bread to also have on your plate for Thanksgiving. So I'm not going to let anybody else have it, because that, I think, would enhance both of your plates based on how things are shaping up at the moment. So this is almost a bit of a defensive play from me for the bread. So
okay.
I'm going to go there. And look, you guys have already, like, Brendan's exhausted his side, so he's not going to take any more.
I got the best ones.
Producers only have one more side to go, so I'm going to wait on my sides here, and I'm going to bide my time with it. I'm going to go straight to the dessert now, and I'm going to take pecan pie, the best pie on Thanksgiving.
I think you're doing me a solid here.
Why?
Well, because I wait on dessert, knowing that you might take off a dessert that I don't even know if it's top 3.
It's top 1.
I don't know. It's good.
It's above everything else. Are you serious?
I don't know, man.
Come on.
I'm not sure I agree.
Outweighs pumpkin pie, outweighs peach cobbler.
Nah,
Look, apple's a good
cobbler.
Good challenger. You can take that if you want. That's fine. I've got pecan. I'm fine.
I'm in a great spot here. I actually think I prefer being between the two of y'all, because I can look up and Ben, he's already picked an entree, so I don't need to make that selection. Andy has done so as well. I will say your cornbread pick was solid, because I was the only person remaining that didn't have corn as part of the meal at all. And so it would have been a great addition for my plate. A couple of ways I could go here at the onesie positions. Give me pumpkin pie. I think it's the right play. Pumpkin pie. Would have been likely that Ben takes a dessert with his next 2 picks. Now I'm going to find out if Ben was a pumpkin pie truther, or maybe he prefers another dessert.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to go with that here or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, you kind of did read my mind a little bit, Brennan. I am going to go to the dessert route, and I will go apple pie with my next pick. It is personally my favorite. I think it outweighs pecan and pumpkin, but, to each their own with all of their pie picks. I feel like that might be the most hotly debated item sometimes on Thanksgiving plates is, what dessert do you go for?
Yeah, shout out cherry pie, by the way. Always gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I feel bad, but.
Yeah, very good. All right, you've got a wraparound pick here, producers.
Ooh, where do I want to go with this? So we've all exhausted desserts. Oh, gosh, what do I want to go with here? Do I want to get my last side? And do I wait for the bread? Or what do I
think
do?
those are the only two choices.
Yeah, those are my only two choices left. So, ooh, gosh. That's a choice. I will go with my bread, and I will just do the traditional roll, just a baked roll, a warm roll. You can just put some butter on, keep it real simple, real easy, something I always like to have on Thanksgiving. So I'll just go with simple baked roll.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just rolls? I'm going to put rolls. That's it.
Yes, that's fine. You can just put rolls.
All right. Brendan, you're running out of breads here, Brendan.
Yeah, but I think if he's just going like a baked dinner roll, I can go. It's not going to win any awards for hominess, but I'm not going to look down on a Hawaiian roll on Thanksgiving. You know, you buy them in a 12-pack, you pop them in the oven, crisp them up a little bit, so they're not homemade. Not looking down on that, especially after dinner roll is gone. In retrospect, I should have gone dinner roll and then pumpkin pie. I didn't know Ben was an apple pie freak. But you live and you learn, and we'll go with Hawaiian rolls to settle with the bread for our dinner.
Okay. All right, so I have two sides left. Need some sort of potato in here, so I'm going to go with the sweet potatoes. I'm not necessarily into sweet potatoes myself, but that is a favorite amongst many.
That's a good one.
So I'm going to take that off the board, sweet potatoes. And, man, I'm in a conundrum on my last pick. I need a veggie, and I have a good I need a side.
Okay.
I need a veggie, but then there's another upside pick that I feel like I could have on there and just not have a veggie. Like
corn casserole is veggie-ish. Veggie
yeah,
adjacent.
I mean, it's
not really
kind of there, but
Thanksgiving isn't about the veggies. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing.
If you say this bacon-wrapped asparagus again,
why?
I'm going to lose it.
It's fantastic. Don't knock it till you tried it. Yeah, we do make it every year, and it's awesome, and I love the fact that we make it every year. Because it's not just a vegetable, it's got bacon on it.
That's fair.
Come on. Everything's better with bacon. I'm not going to do that here, though. I'm going to take cranberry sauce.
Good choice.
You guys don't get cranberry sauce on your plates now. And
I don't.
Take that. So,
but I am a cranberry enjoyer.
Cranberry sauce is off the board, so I will take that. And now, Brendan, you have
it's an entree.
Yeah, your non-turkey entree is left.
I'm going sliced brisket.
Good choice.
Yeah, I mean, that's delicious anyway.
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant, I think not. We love it.
That's a very good choice there. All right, producers, finish us out with your final side.
Yeah, I got my final side. I already have the stuffing and the corn. I'm looking down the list, and I don't have a potato option. So having to go through that, and I'm looking at it, and one that kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit, and I've had a few nimes on Thanksgiving, but scalloped potatoes I really, really like. Cut real thin, layered in with a bunch of other stuff. Sometimes you can have, I've seen ham thrown in there. I've seen some other meats thrown in there, but just plain scalloped potatoes, and that's how I'll finish out the draft.
Okay, that's the Big Show Thanksgiving draft in the books. Scalloped potatoes is good, Mr. Irrelevant, I have to say. There's not a bad Mr. Irrelevant. Like, we could have picked so many more foods.
Oh, yeah.
I could do this all day. But, I mean, we do have other
I'm going to tomorrow.
Exactly. We do have other sports things to get to. Ben will be joining us once again for the picks of the week, so don't go too far, Ben, but we'll say goodbye for now. Thanks for participating in the draft this year, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well.
All right. Talk to you soon. The picks of the week time in about an hour. Big Show's on at 4:45, beg your pardon, KTGR and the KTGR app. Under the Bus is coming up next. Oh boy. The college football playoff selection committee interviews of the chair just keep getting more and more cringe. And this one was the most cringe. We'll get to that.
Now, your local Sports Center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good afternoon. I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. Go to leestirecompany.com. UM Board of Curators started their meeting at 3 p.m. this afternoon. It is believed that it is pertaining to the future of Mizzou head football coach Eli Drinkwitz, who is rumored to be a candidate for several other head coaching positions across college football. Now, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports reported last night that the Curators are meeting to authorize a proposal, but not a finalized deal for Eli Drinkwitz to remain at Mizzou. No details have come out from the meeting yet, and no announcement, according to Dellinger, is imminent just yet as well. Meanwhile, the Tigers are preparing for their final regular season game at the Arkansas Razorbacks. Kickoff is set for 2:30 on Saturday. Mizzou men's basketball with a 98-66 victory over South Carolina State last night. Trent Burns made his Mizzou debut. Redshirt freshman center had 7.3 rebounds, a block in 11 minutes of work. Tigers take on Cleveland State on Friday at 1 p.m. And the Chiefs ruled out Trey Smith and Noah Gray for their game at the Cowboys tomorrow, 3:30 kickoff in Dallas. Now your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast.
I'm tracking a freezing Thanksgiving with wind chills in the lower 20s tomorrow morning, and temperatures struggle to reach 40 degrees even with sunshine tomorrow. We're sunny through Thanksgiving and on Friday for travel, but if family sticks around for this weekend, we could be seeing the first snowfall of the season that could impact holiday travel on Saturday. The best chance for snow will be in north and eastern Missouri. I'm meteorologist Nate Splater, and that's your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast on your total sports station, KTGR.
The foundation is set.
Missouri knocks off the #1 team in the nation.
The frame is built.
On the run, Mitchell for the flush, Missouri by 20.
And the gates.
The habits, the response to detail, the execution, all that stuff matters.
Are open.
Drives right baseline to the rim, jams it as he hangs and got fouled.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
Cruz, here comes the three. Bang, he splashed it home.
Mid-Missouri's total sports station, KTGR.
Let's talk numbers, because if you're a fan of stats, you'll want to hear this. Flight by Yuengling has just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's light beer that actually brings some game day flavor. Whether you're at the tailgate or watching from the couch, Flight delivers that crisp, refreshing taste without the extra baggage. Brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's legit. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Wishing you a season filled with shake with la 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 la. The air is merrier when you get shake with la 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 la. Spirits rise, in fact they're soaring. Shake with la, shake with la, shake with la. Here to keep your fire roaring. Shake with la la la.
Happy holidays from Shangri-La Dispensaries. Shangri-La Dispensaries is paradise found. ShangriLaDispensaries.com.
Some things just go together, like salt and pepper. And now, thanks to Lee's Tires, front-end alignments and new tires do too. Now through the end of the month, when you buy 4 new tires at Lee's, you'll get a front-end alignment for free. Buy 4 new tires, get a front-end alignment for free, only at Lee's. Salt and pepper, tires and alignments, and for almost 50 years, it's been Lee's Tires and their customers. Some things really do go better together. Offer good through the end of the month.
Lee's Tire Company is round for you. Ooh, see Lee's.
You know your former golf bag? It's not just holding up the weed whacker on your garage wall. It's also holding cash. Same goes for that rowing machine you swore you'd use once. At Play It Again Sports, turn your gently used gear into money in your pocket. Bring in your old golf equipment, fitness gear, softball bats, baseball cleats, and more. Cash out and keep it, or trade up to something better. Play It Again Sports in Columbia. Think of them first so you don't finish last. Play It Again Sports, ColumbiaMo.com.
The warm scent of maple spiced coffee fills the air. And is that a hint of Caribbean rum? That must be Caldy's Coffee Highlander Grog Brewing, our decadent maple spiced blend that's won fans nationwide. Loved for how it smells and for how it makes you feel. Each cup brings back the comfort of a classic coffee morning. Cozy, nostalgic, maple spiced coffee. Shop Caldy'sCoffee.com for your bag today. Also available in pods.
I'm Michael Agnew with API Project Fitness. At API, we're dedicated to helping you reach your fitness goals with workouts that are motivating, challenging, and effective. Our group classes are high energy and designed to maximize your time with efficient movements and smooth flow. There are real results here to find, whether you're just starting out or ready to push it to the next level. API is where hard work meets progress. Everyone needs a fitness routine. Let us be yours. Sign up today for a free trial at apiprojectfitness.com.
Another winter inside, looking at the snow in your yard that you can't write your name in because you didn't order your new deck from Crutch's Custom Exteriors in time. Don't look ahead to spring cleaning. You're ready for spring peeing and April showers with Freedom Stream powers off your new Crutch's deck. They can build your pee platform in the winter so it's ready for you to splash your autograph in any springtime snow that's left. CrutchesCustomExteriors.com. True beauty is on the outside.
The best local sports talk around on your ride home. You've got The Big Show on KTGR.
This, I hope, is the beginning of the end of 6-7. This is why, Hunter Yurachek, this is for you. Please make 6-7 not cool. Please keep doing it. Come on.
Pause. You're throwing the notion of 6-7 under the bus,
yes.
not Hunter Yurachek.
No.
You're actually pleased with Hunter Yurachek because your belief is that with him making a 6-7 joke last night during the CFP ranking show, you think that now an old guy has done it publicly, and so it's not going to be cool. It was cringe. Is that kind of your stance?
I think so. Yeah. All these kids will be looking at it and they're like, oh, man.
I don't even want to do it anymore.
You ruined it. Now let's go on to the next thing. Please let that happen.
You're such a 6-7 hater. I can add a little additional context if you would like. I kind of forgot about your disdain for 6-7 during yesterday's show. We had a lot to get to. But yesterday afternoon, St. Louis media had a Zoom with Chaim Bloom about the trade, Sonny Gray to the Red Sox. And I asked Chaim Bloom about, normally you'd like to have a veteran anchor in the rotation, but with where the Cardinals are kind of rebuilding, I didn't use the word. I was careful not to say it. But is there some value in maybe coming into spring with 6, 7, 8 starting pitchers that you could have multiple open spots and just have a true competition? Now you're shaking your head. I promise you, I did not do that intentionally. But the way he responded, initially he goes, my kids are going to be real disappointed in me for not making a 6-7 joke off that. And then he proceeded to give his answer. But that's what Chaim Bloom said.
Yeah.
He acknowledged that. So I wondered, did he think I was trying to bait him into one? Or did he just...
Were you?
No, I swear. I love 6-7, but I was not trying to get him to... But man, how great would that have been if he had just leaned into it? Said, I don't know, we might have 6-7 starting pitchers come
Here's
February.
the thing. He would have been better at pulling it off than Hunter Yurachek was last night. Like, that was just so... And, like, part of it is the fact that there's lag between when he hears Reese Davis ending his question and when he begins talking and when we actually hear him. And then there's just this big pregnant pause, and he's trying to... It was cringy.
I will say, hearing the question, it was Reese Davis, I think, that asked the question.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, this is going to 6-7 territory. Like, it's almost...
Right, because Oregon... Was it Oregon that hopped Ole Miss from 7 to 6?
I think that's what it was. And so the way he phrased the question, I thought, could it be? And then, bang, we got him. Chaim Bloom was aware of it, but didn't fall into the trap.
Yeah. Well, Hunter Yurachek did, and it didn't go well. But maybe it comes with a happy ending, and that would be the ending of 6-7 entirely. Maybe the kids are like, "Oh,
you're such a hater."
That old guy kind of
Andy hates joy
for all of us. Hey, sweet to see Trent Burns on the floor last night for Mizzou men's basketball. Look, take it with a grain of salt. First game, obviously. South Carolina State, the opponent, but had some good moments, some rim runs, had an alley-oop, had a block. He had a block taken away by a goaltend. He just barely couldn't get it before it touched the glass. And like his family was there yesterday, which was awesome to see. Like, I think they just happened to be in town. They thought he was going to be debuting Friday against Cleveland State, but it turned out it was going to be today. And Dennis Gates brought his twin sisters up to the podium afterwards, which was very cool. and called them like the key recruiters for Trent Burns to bring him to Mizzou. Very sweet moments for the Burns family, and I know they got a real kick out of it last night. So congrats to Trent and the family and everything.
Yeah, and it was great to finally get to see him in action, right? Like, it's been a couple of years that we've been excited about this guy. I've seen Mizzou fans are calling him Tremby. Like, wow. Our own little version of Wemby, except there's nothing little about him. He's 7'5".
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And look, is there some rawness to his game? Sure. But he moves pretty dang well for a guy of his size. And he's athletic for a guy that's 7'5". So I'm excited to see. Is he, probably a guy that'll be a bench player? Like, how many minutes can you play at 7'5"? I don't know what's possible, but I think he's going to be impactful. I really do.
Yeah, it was a good start, and we'll see how he progresses. Tigers take on Cleveland State on Friday at 1:00. So that'll be the next chance to see Trent Burns on the floor, presumably 11 minutes last night. Was the minimal minutes that he ended up getting. So see if he gets upped at all for the next game. All right. We will get our predictions in for Chiefs Cowboys tomorrow and Mizzou Arkansas on Saturday. Plus a little play, fade, eliminate before we get to our picks of the week at 5:45 here on this Thanksgiving Eve edition of The Big Show, KTGR. Hi, everyone. Andy Humphrey here for Lee's Tire Company. They are knowledgeable car people, great folks to work with, and they make sure you get a great deal, too. If you head over to leestirecompany.com, you can check out all of the great rebates that you can get on select tires. And if you're in the market for new tires right now, well, now's a great month to do it because Lee's Tire Company all throughout the month of November is giving you a free front-end alignment if you buy 4 new tires. So not only are you getting a top-notch crew to find the right tires for your vehicle, but you're also getting that free front-end alignment. Again, good through the end of this month. So head into Lee's Tire Company to take advantage of that now. And on top of that, their work is backed up by a 36 months, 36,000 miles nationwide warranty. Keeps you safe on the road, keeps you safe in your wallet as well. Head into Lee's Tire Company. There are 2 locations in Columbia, one on the Business Loop, another one at University Garage right by the MU campus, or their location in Centralia, or online at leestirecompany.com. Because if it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. leestirecompany.com.
This weekend, cancel your plans. Brunch is calling at the Dive Bar in Columbia. Start with biscuits, not just any biscuits, local made, buttermilk, sweet corn, even gluten-free, smothered in scratch-made gravy, pork sausage, or the chorizo. Don't forget the loaded biscuit, fluffy omelet, drenched in gravy, stacked so high it's basically brunch art. And then there's the Dive Cristo, smoked ham, house-made raspberry jam, gooey cheese wrapped in a flaky puff pastry. The Monte Cristo wishes it was this good. Brunch Saturday and Sunday only at the Dive Bar in Columbia. Don't just eat, experience.
Hey, Tiger fans, gear up for game day with Zing Zang. Score big with their Bloody Mary mix, crafted with 7 real vegetable juices and bold seasonings, or enjoy their ready-to-drink Bloody Mary canned cocktail made with premium vodka and 9% ABV. Prefer margaritas? Try their classic or mango margarita canned cocktails with real fruit juices and premium silver tequila. Find them at your local retailer. Zing Zang, taste the legend. And please, Zing Zang responsibly.
KTGR AM Columbia, KTGR FM Fulton Columbia, K286CL Columbia, in Missouri's total sports station. KTGR. Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. First NBA Cup game of the day on ESPN. The Pistons, winners of 13 straight, and the Celtics knotted up at 35 in the second quarter. NFL, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley on the injury report ahead of Friday's game against the Bears with a groin injury. It's been a rough second season in Philly for Barkley. 684 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
And until the Eagles can get right with being able to run the football, that offense is going to continue to be uneven. They are a run-first team. When you start talking about the identity of the Philadelphia Eagles, that's who they are. They major in running the football. But your running game is going to be inconsistent if you continue to do the same things and not necessarily get the productivity that you had in the past.
Chiefs right guard Trey Smith, tight end Noah Gray, cornerback Chris Roland Wallace out against the Cowboys tomorrow. Packers running back Josh Jacobs returns from a knee injury tomorrow for that critical NFC North showdown in Detroit. Lions center Frank Ragnow, 5 months after announcing his retirement, is unretiring and returning to Detroit. He should provide a boost to the O-line. First game back likely December 14th.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
From Faro,
15 to the 10, to the house.
Bush,
Back to the wall, and it's got her.
and Arrowhead.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
To your speakers.
This is the big show, baby.
Get fresh takes on the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. Right now, this is The Big Show with Andy and Brendan on KTGR.
We're going to tidy up these SEC football tiers, but we've got bigger fish to fry. We've still got to tell you who we've got in the two big games of the weekend. Chiefs, Cowboys, taking place prime time, middle of Thanksgiving dinner. People seem to eat early on Thanksgiving. I don't know. At least we do. Chiefs, Cowboys, who you got in Mizzou, Arkansas? Who you got for Saturday's game? That's going to all be coming up in just a few minutes. Before we get out of here, we'll also do a little play, fade, eliminate, get you set for the fantasy football weekend as you're making that playoff push. You can call or text us with your fantasy football questions, 573-875-KTGR. Our picks of the week as well at 5:45 on the Big Show. But first, it's 5 o'clock.
It's time for the top 5 at 5 on the Big Show. Number 1.
If you want to trade away for curtain number 1, you can have curtain 1.
No word on if the curators meeting has finished or not. It's been in closed executive session, and it is believed to be pertaining to Eli Drinkwitz and his future at Mizzou. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports reported last night that this meeting is to authorize a proposed but not finalized deal for a contract extension for Eli Drinkwitz to stay at Mizzou. Now, that could mean that could be just the first step of several steps that need to take place in order for Drinkwitz to stay. Of course, the decision for Lane Kiffin is looming. We expect that, it would seem, Saturday after the Egg Bowl. Do we have to wait until then to hear about what Eli Drinkwitz's future is? If so, that would make Mizzou fans a little nervous, but maybe we hear about it within the next couple of days, and Eli Drinkwitz is planning to stay anyway. We don't know all the details of that, so we wait. But we expect in the next few days or so to know whether or not Eli Drinkwitz is going to be sticking around at Mizzou. We shall see.
Number 2.
Number 2, your timing is impeccable.
Through all that, Mizzou does need to play a football game on Saturday at the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I believe that the offense will come out of their struggles from the Oklahoma game and play much better against Arkansas's defense. They just cannot stop a nosebleed right now. I think Bo Prabula can have a good game. I think Ahmad Hardy can have a great game. The Doak Walker Award finalist could close in on that Mizzou single-season rushing record that's been broken a couple times over the last 5 years. Can he do it in that game? We shall see. Kickoff set for 2:30.
Number 3.
Trey Smith officially out. So is Noah Gray for the Chiefs tomorrow as they take on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day at 3:30. I don't really love this matchup. I think the Chiefs can still pull it out, but it is going to be a tough struggle, I think, towards the end. Chiefs have to find a way to get pressure on Dak Prescott in this game, some way, somehow. So Spags is going to have to dial up those blitzes the way he always does. Patrick Mahomes needs to have a much better game than he did against the Colts. He won the game, but needs to play better.
Number 4.
Oh, shanked it.
Good to see Trent Burns on the floor last night for the Tigers. 7 points, 3 rebounds, and a block in 11 minutes as he made his Mizzou debut. Tigers had 5 players in double-figure scoring as they whooped up on South Carolina State 98-66. That's probably the worst team they'll play this year. They get Cleveland State coming up on Friday before they visit Notre Dame next week.
Number 5.
What is the 5 fingers? Say to the face.
Must be nice to be the Lions. You get to have basically a all-pro type center, Frank Ragnow, come out of retirement and rejoin. That's
cool. The Big Show's top 5 at 5 on KTGR.
875 KTGR if you want to call or text us here, like in the middle of the season. Just go ahead and add a Hall of Famer. Sure, like they're a future Hall of Famer at that, at least. It's not bad for the Lions.
Hey, man, if the rules allow it, and they do, because the Week 13 games are the deadline to where you have to come out of retirement, enjoying your team before that point, and the Lions play tomorrow. So it feels now kind of all orchestrated in retrospect. Like Frank Ragnow's not even very old.
No.
But he retired to preserve his body. I guess skipping the first 12 games of the season also kind of helps preserve your body. So good for him, I suppose.
It's kind of like
better for the Lions, though.
Holding out during training camp because you don't want to have the hits during training camp.
This is
like that.
To hold out for half the year,
right?
Except for do it officially and not in any way that's like detrimental to the morale or anything like that. Like this was just, I feel like this was all probably a little pre-orchestrated, but who knows?
Yeah. So that's a boost for the Lions and their offensive line. We'll see how that helps their offense going forward.
Can I give you a question from social media here?
Yes.
We've got a few. The King wants to know, how much do you think Drink's contract is going up? Let's assume that the Curators meeting, they got a contract. He eventually signs it. He was making a little over $9 million per year on the prior deal, already in like the top 10, 11 in the country
and
in
it
salary.
Escalates every year up until like through the life of the deal by like $250,000. So I think it eventually could go up to 10. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he'll probably get a raise. I don't know if that's the most important sticking point for him, though.
I don't think it is. I agree.
Like, he will care about how much he can pay assistants, how much roster cash he has.
3 letters, NIL.
Yeah. So, or 500 of the type of companies that you're going after.
The fortune type. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, that is more important, I think. But yeah, he'll probably get a raise around 11-ish, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
And Rick would like to know if we hear about the future before kickoff on Saturday. Give us your official prediction.
That would be the hope, right?
That's my hope.
That'd be Mizzou fans' hope. That probably means that he's staying.
Yes.
Most likely means that he's staying. So, but like, even if it happened afterwards, he can still stay.
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
I'd rather it happen before.
No, for sure. You want to know, like, we wanted to know a month ago. But
I'm going to say it does happen Saturday morning. Because
Saturday morning, okay.
Something tells me there will be more reporting on Lane Kiffin by Friday night after the Egg Bowl is done.
Yeah.
And then
it's early. It's 11 a.m. So like, they're going to be.
You can plenty of time.
There you go.
For one of those national guys to get the scoop on Friday night before Lane makes the official announcement. And that allows Drink. And I'm going to say that I guess Lane's going to LSU, even though I'm really a skeptic of that. So I'll say we do get it before kickoff on Saturday. I'll call it that it's Saturday morning. I want to say that the extension, the year they announced it before the Kentucky game, was also the day of. Am I wrong about that? I think that came Saturday morning when he was extended that time midseason. But I'm not 100% sure that I'm remembering that correctly. But I think they could do it Saturday morning ahead of a 2:30 game. That's what I'll put my bet on here.
I mean, I'd almost prefer, like, hey, do it Friday. Like, have a little bit more time.
But if the Lane Kiffin, I think he's waiting on the Lane thing, which disappoints me. But all will be forgiven if you stay. You keep all the great players. You get some better players where you need some better players, and you win a bunch of games next year. Like, that's the bottom line. So I'm not going to get all up in my feelings about it if he stays, because I think he is the best candidate to lead Missouri forward, and I still believe that he can get it done and get us to where we want to go. So that's what I'm hoping happens. Do you have a percentage now of, because you've been kind of 50-50, but I haven't asked you this question recently. There's been a lot that's changed since the last time.
I'll be more confident that he stays, I think.
How much more confident? I think if you weren't doing a show with me, you would be over 80%. But I think I have poisoned your brain into this pessimistic view.
I think the threat's real elsewhere. Like, it's still out there, obviously.
But if I ask
the fact that it hasn't happened yet, like, he hasn't signed the extension yet. So
yeah, let me ask you this way: percent chance that Lane Kiffin is LSU's coach next year?
I think that's very likely. I think it's done almost. Like,
I think it's the same percentage that Drink stays. I think that it's LSU or Missouri for Drink. I don't think Auburn's going to swoop in. We haven't heard a lot about Auburn recently, but I feel like it's down to those two. Because if it's not, what's the holdup on this extension not being finalized? It feels like it's the LSU thing.
Yeah.
Penn State feels like it's dead in the water. I thought for a while that it was maybe going to be Penn State. But they might be. It looks like Bob Chesney is the most likely if it's not the crazy Kalen DeBoer idea.
Which I think would be fine.
Be a good hire.
Yeah, be a good
yeah.
hire.
Honestly, if it doesn't go that way and Mizzou has to find a coach, I would be calling him for sure.
Yeah.
James Madison, he's got those guys doing a great job this year. So, yeah, I'll go 60%, though, that Drink stays. But I also would go 60% that Lane Kiffin is LSU's coach. That's all I'm getting to. You think it's probably higher than that?
I think it's a lot higher.
I don't personally, and I think whatever.
Because the only other option is Ole Miss, and like if it was Ole Miss,
I think
it would have been announced last weekend.
I'll bet you Florida still thinks that they have a chance to get to him.
Maybe
this could all be like Sexton's greatest. This could be his opus, right? I mean, we'll see.
It's fascinating stuff for sure. Should we get to our predictions first, then our tiers?
We can do our game predictions because we got to do Chiefs too. I mean, that game's actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I'm going 26-17 Mizzou.
I kind of want to predict the loss.
No.
Just to guard my heart. Don't do it.
Don't do that.
This morning I told someone 19.
You can do whatever you want, but like
this morning I told someone 19-17 Arkansas. I cannot tell a lie. Now I'm going to say 19-17 Missouri. And do not ask me how Missouri ends up on 19. I don't know the answer for you. Maybe a missed extra point and then go for 2 and don't get it. How about that? 19-17 Mizzou.
Well, that's the overtime score. It's like 3 overtimes and they get to 19-17.
It's actually a safety. They go 70 yards the wrong direction.
Right.
It's a safety on a 2-point conversion. It's triple overtime. And Arkansas is actually the one on offense, but Mizzou, I don't know. Mizzou runs it back and tackles them in the other end zone for 98-yard loss in the safety. It'll be a crazy game. It'll be a weird game. Please just ride Ahmad Hardy and see how far he gets you. Yeah. That would be my advice.
That's
to Mizzou offense.
That's, I think, the way it needs to go.
Yeah,
that's the way it went against Mississippi State, and it worked early. And so if it works early, just keep going to it until it stops.
By the way, though, I think Bo has a good game too. I think he's going to throw for some yards.
Yeah.
Don't throw a pick. Hopefully they win, but it's scary that the spread is so low. It's like 2.5. I think it's low.
That's
for
opportunity there.
I think it would be for a more confident. But I have to tell you, I'm really just sitting on the over 7.5 ticket from before the season. And that was at plus money. So Mizzou money line is not the play tomorrow for me. I essentially played Mizzou money line at
Back
plus
in
money
June. Yeah.
in August. And now I had to wait until now to decide it. And the same thing happened a few years ago when Arkansas was determining whether or not the preseason win total would be eclipsed. And Mizzou did win that one. So I'm hoping the same thing happens on Saturday.
All right. Well, we'll see. Kickoff at 2:30 between Mizzou and Arkansas. All right, Chiefs, Cowboys.
Over? Can I just say over 52.5 and leave it there?
I mean, sure.
I want this to be like 30-27. Somebody just give me a. So Cowboys would be my pick against the spread. I think because I think that both offenses are going to have good games. I'll be sad if this is like 13-10 and just a total dud. But how could it be in a dome? These two quarterbacks, these two offenses, skill players on both sides. Come on, it's a fantasy football player's dream. But can the Chiefs win it? It's scary, Andy.
It is scary. I say 28-24 Chiefs.
I want to say 30-27 Chiefs. But because I know how annoyed I'll be if the answer is actually like 23-20 Chiefs, I'm going to say 23-20 Chiefs. The total is 52.5. Please get over. Let's have some fun. But there might be some goal line or red zone deficiencies that tamper the scoring a little bit. But I'll give you the Chiefs win by 3. They don't cover. That's going to be my prediction.
Okay. All right. That's very possible. 875-KTGR if you want to get your predictions in with a call or a text for Mizzou, Arkansas, and Chiefs Cowboys through this loaded Thanksgiving football weekend. All right. Our SEC tiers do not need a whole lot of tampering, I don't think.
I think they do. Legal tampering or illegal tampering?
Either
Doesn't
one.
matter.
Either one.
Okay.
Whatever floats your boat. I'm not changing mine at the top. A&M Georgia is still my top tier. Both of them did what they should against nobody teams this past weekend. Bama, Ole Miss, OU was the second tier for both of us. We both had the same 3 tiers last week.
Yeah, our top 3 were identical.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt handled Kentucky, so I don't really want to punish them any. Tennessee looked actually pretty good, though, against Florida. I know like it's Florida, but that was a game at the Swamp. They hadn't won there in a long time.
I don't know. I mean, I think them and Mizzou are still pretty similar with the way that they have gotten to the record that they're at.
I'm going to dock Missouri, actually. Not really dock them. I'm going to move Tennessee up to the Vandy, Texas tier because I think the quality of those 3 teams is similar. I know that technically Vandy and Texas could still make the playoff. I think they're all 3 very similar. So Missouri is going to stay in tier 4 for me. And it's just them. Missouri was the purgatory of the SEC this year, as it turned out. We didn't win a single game over a good team. All the ways that teams and other fan bases could hate on us, they got to because we didn't STP. We didn't prove it this year. Doesn't mean we're a bad team, but it's kind of like the purgatory of the league. And I think that'll be true if you lose to Arkansas. It'll be true if you beat Arkansas.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, you could say that about LSU, too. And so you put them in the tier below?
Yeah, because LSU scored 13 points against Western Kentucky. There are layers to this.
Okay.
I think if Missouri and LSU had played, Missouri would have handled it about 23-10. So
where's Tennessee's big win this year? They don't have one either.
It's about to come this weekend. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well,
I think just like we talk about with the committee, it's about sometimes the way you look in some of these games, and Tennessee's offense is good. Like they took Georgia to overtime. Georgia's going to be going to the playoff. They put up points in the majority of their games. I mean, 33-27 losing to Oklahoma. Call me a fantasy football snob, but that looks a lot better than losing 17-6 to Oklahoma. So I'm just giving Tennessee some credit for having a functional offense.
I think the offense has brought Tennessee where it's at, and the defense has brought Mizzou to where it's at.
I agree.
So I just think they're similar in that sense. And kind of the same thing with LSU's defense. It's just that they had different expectations.
It's not quite as good.
And so so that's why I have LSU in the same tier as Mizzou and Tennessee. I just can't separate them right now. Beat the teams that they should beat. Maybe not as convincingly as a lot of fans would have wanted them to, but unable to find a win that actually gets you excited. And for one school, it was enough to fire the head coach. For the others, it was, okay, yeah, it's a step back from a season that we really liked, but we want to keep our coach around. And Josh Heupel there's no thought of him going anywhere. Like, he likes where he's at, and I don't think anybody.
I think that's right.
Clamoring for him. So there you go. So you're keeping LSU and Auburn then in the same tier?
Yeah, that's my my 5th tier. And I honestly make the argument to me of how Florida, Mississippi State, Kentucky, Arkansas, and South Carolina should be ordered. Is there any rhyme or reason, any method to that madness, or am I just writing all 5 of them off and saying, y'all stink?
Well, none of them have had the wins that get you excited. I mean, Florida, though, did have the Texas win, so that one does exist, but
yeah,
they are a far cry from that. It happened a while ago, and so they're a different team now. Lately, Kentucky's looked better. Like, I know they didn't win this past weekend against Vandy.
No, they didn't win. They didn't come close. Losing 45-17 to Vanderbilt gives you an F- in my book. Like, that wasn't good.
I still think they're better than South Carolina and Arkansas. Just saying.
I think Arkansas is.
They are not better.
How many of those other basement dwellers did Arkansas play this year? I'm struggling to remember their schedule, but it doesn't feel like they played Mississippi State and ultimately lost by 3 at home.
Yeah,
but that's the only team they've played from the bottom dwellers in conference. I think Arkansas is better than if these 5 teams played a round robin. I think Arkansas might win that little consolation toilet bowl trophy. I know they lost to Miss State at home. I think Arkansas would beat South Carolina, Kentucky, and probably Florida.
I'm sorry, but I'm not making any changes to my tiers. I like them the way they are.
That's fine. The changes I'm making are moving Tennessee up to join Texas and Vandy. It's as much a credit to Tennessee for winning in the swamp as it is the recognition that Vandy and Texas, I just don't think that they are ultimately college football playoff material this season. Although you could make a case, and people are talking about this, Andy, if Texas had not scheduled Ohio State, where do we think the committee would have them? Like if they played Western Michigan instead and got their 21-point win, what would that resume look like? And I'm not coming into this with an agenda. I don't claim to have the answer, but I do think it's a relevant question about how, in particular, SEC schools who have mandated that you're going to play these Power 4 opponents in addition to a 9-game schedule, why they're doing that and what the benefit of that ultimately is in the long run.
It's not for how competitive they are against other conferences. It's so that they can have competitive balance within their own conference, because Florida has to play Florida State. Georgia has to play Georgia Tech. Like those,
too many of those rivalry games.
There are those. And so like if the other 12 teams don't have to schedule an out of conference team as a natural rival, then that creates a disparity. And so you have to
don't you think that that's going to shoot the SEC in the foot with some of these, like, we haven't even started.
Like, I'm not going to feel sorry for the SEC about
I didn't
that.
claim you should, but I approach it from the SEC viewpoint, and I think the SEC is going to regret it. Because, Andy, we haven't even started the 9-game schedule yet for SEC play. That's next year.
Yeah.
And if Texas was sitting at 9-2, I would have a hard time believing they'd be below Vanderbilt. I'd have a hard time believing they would be below Utah or Miami. Miami's got 2 losses to teams that, I mean, SMU is only ranked so that the committee can avoid the James Madison question and the North Texas question. Like they shot into the rankings with 3 losses just because of the math that, well, they're going to be playing in the ACC championships. We got to cover our ass. Like that's, in my opinion, the SMU thing is crazy. But I think that it is a question for the SEC moving forward.
Look,
about these
for people
games.
who worry about how many SEC teams make the college football playoff, sure, I could give a damn. Like, I really don't care. I really don't
care.
And here's the thing, like the SEC, this will be better for the SEC because they have a 9th conference game, and that means that more eyeballs are on their conference week after week, and they get more money from that, and it helps everyone. And if it means that every so often they get a team that's loses out on a playoff bid and an at-large because they played another tough team, well, fine. But I think it will all be outweighed by the fact that we're all going to be more interested in this sport for a longer period of time. And so, no, I don't think they'll have any regrets about going to a 9-gamer.
And again, you don't care. Fans don't care. Fans are tired of hearing how great the SEC is. I am just wondering if the SEC will eventually, because again, we're not in the 9-game schedule era just yet. When we are, they'll still have to play that 10th game against a P4. I'll be curious to see what the narrative becomes of that over the next couple of years, because I think if you're Texas and you had played a nobody instead of at Ohio State to kick off the year, you're right there on the borderline, certainly within play to win your game against Texas A&M and be vaulted into the top 10. So I think it's a curious thing that people are talking about.
Yeah. And look, it will be talked about over and over with folks around Texas and be like, do we really need to start out with that one? But
no, it's interesting.
I thought it was an interesting game.
And it was great for college football that they played it, right? Like we got to see 2 teams that we thought were national contenders. We got to see them right at the very beginning of the season. But I'm curious what the downstream effects of that, because we keep changing rules before we see them play out for a year or two. And so that could get, as you're continuing to chase those rule changes, what ends up happening. But I will, with my tiers, move Tennessee up to tier 3. Missouri is tier 4 by itself. And the bottom 5 teams are all bunched into one tier because I just think they all are pretty similar. Sorry, Florida. Yeah, you got one good win, but you got some ugly losses there too.
875-KTGR. Give us a call or a text with your SEC football tiers. Also, text us your fantasy football questions. We'll have Play, Fade, Eliminate before we get to our picks of the week at 5:45 here on The Big Show.
Follow The Big Show on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. And keep it here on your total sports station, KTGR.
Hey, Andy and Brendan for Underdog, and it's Feast Week, baby, and that means lots of daily promos when it comes to basketball on Underdog Fantasy between now and November 30th. Yeah, check your app. I just used my Steph Curry gimme pick, and I'm excited to see what else we might see on Underdog for the rest of the week. Andy, what do you like in basketball tonight?
I'll be a little like you and go with a three-pointer stat that I like. Give me Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to go higher than 2.5 three-pointers made in their game against the Timberwolves. Now, on the other side for Minnesota, I think Anthony Edwards does very well in his all-around game. So give me higher than 35.5 points plus rebounds plus assists for Anthony Edwards.
It's that easy on Underdog, combining your favorite players and their stats. Will they go higher? Will they go lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more? And if you get your entries right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the app today and use promo code KTGR to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code KTGR. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison. And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
Is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that. We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hit a deer, win a cow. Hit a deer, win a cow. Hit a deer, win a cow. FPP, Easy's 1, 2, 3. FPP, Easy's 1, 2, 3. FPP, Easy's 1, 2, 3. Award-winning auto collision repair. Don't wait, we're great. We work with all insurance companies. We work with all insurance companies. Yes, we work with your insurance company. New Bloomfield, Missouri. FPPBodyShop.com. 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 Fletcher, Performance and Paint.
Exmark owners, after a long season of mowing, it's time to give your Exmark the attention it deserves. Schedule your Exmark mower for the 30-point winter service now through the end of February with Farm Power Lawn and Leisure and receive free pickup and delivery in the Boone County area. They'll make sure your mower is sharp, clean, and ready to roll when spring returns. Call 573-442-1139 or visit FPLAL.com today. Farm Power Lawn and Leisure, your Exmark headquarters all year long.
Hey, Lenny. George, good to see you. Yeah, well, it ain't so good to see you, pal. I wish you'd kept quiet all those years. Family Pawn's got all the hunting gear people need to do exactly that. Bows, scopes, ammo, everything. Doing what, George? Look at you, mounted on the wall for everybody to see. Not gonna lie, George. I sort of like hanging around. Their fireplace feels real nice.
Not your traditional pawn shop. Family Pawn.
I want to go to Family Pawn.
Back to more of the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. You've got The Big Show on the KTGR app.
Sending you into a packed football weekend. Weigh in on it with us. 573-875-KTGR. A little ZZ Top to bring us into the
Fire
weekend.
me up.
There we go.
Fire me up. I tell you what, man. Fantasy football, got a lot of leagues. Got a lot of leagues that I'm sitting pretty. Maybe I'll get a first round bye 2 weeks ago until the playoffs begin. Got some leagues, though, that I'm just out of it completely. But then there are the leagues where it's looking bleak, but you're saying there's a chance. It's time to get going, man. It's time to get some big-time dubs this weekend in fantasy football. Keep those playoff hopes alive.
Let's hit it.
It's time to play Fade or Eliminate.
Yeah, again, you got to be ready. Like, you got to be on your toes tomorrow. It's going to sneak up on you because you'll be sleeping in, probably waking up. Maybe you're watching the parade or something else or getting food ready. And then oh, shoot, I need to check my lineup. All right. So play Fade Eliminate between these three running backs, Brendan. Kareem Hunt, DeAndre Swift, O'Marion Hampton.
Oh, no. So here's the problem. Swift plays on Friday. Hunt plays on Thursday. O'Marion Hampton is not until later in the weekend, and you don't know for sure that he will be coming back. So I think it's a very difficult conversation. If you really feel like Hampton's your best option and you want to wait, make sure you've got another running back on your bench that you can swap in case Hampton is not back. But generally speaking, without a real degree of confidence in that, I'm okay playing Kareem Hunt tomorrow against the Cowboys. I know Pacheco's back. I think Hunt's still going to be the goal line back, Andy, and I think the Chiefs are going to score a bunch of points in the game. So give me Kareem Hunt as my play. Swift is kind of my eliminate. I think you're against an Eagles defense that's going to be difficult, and Monungai is going to continue to eat up some opportunity there. So it's a little bit weird because of the Hampton thing. Like, if I knew he was playing, sure, he'd be my play. But I'm going to go Hunt and then Monungai as the fade simply because of the status question. I don't want to play Swift right now because I just don't know about that matchup with the Eagles, nor his role. He got 8 carries in the last game against Pittsburgh.
Well, what about that vaunted Cowboys defense and how they're so much better against the run as Jerry Jones wanted this whole time?
No, they Quinnen Williams, I mean, they are better now. Yeah. But I think maybe Kareem Hunt's better. I mean, he impressed me in that game against the Colts. He got a lot of carries. He won't get that kind of volume. He won't have 30 rushing attempts. But he might score a touchdown, and he'll be on the field still a decent amount, even with Pacheco's return.
Okay, play fade eliminate wide receivers now. Brian Thomas Jr., Jamison Williams, or Terry McLaurin.
What do we know about Terry McLaurin? Is he coming back? Finally?
Questionable.
He's been out for so long.
Yeah, it's been frustrating.
I'm reading it only took one practice for him to leave injury concerns in the dust, so maybe he will play. Against the Broncos, though, no thanks. He's my eliminate. Like, I got to see it first. He might have a great game, but I got to see it first. I don't trust him to that degree. He's missed most of the season, and he's over 30 years old. So who's to say that we haven't seen the last of what his best may be? So I think that one's an easy answer, that he's the eliminate. Jamison Williams did get you 0 last week, but he's also scored touchdowns in 4 of his last 6 games. And I feel like he's a Thanksgiving demon. Don't you think? He's just the type of guy that you're sitting there, mom's cooking the Thanksgiving meal and you're hanging out with the family, and there goes J-Mo for 60-yard tutty.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want to play him. Who's the third receiver you named there?
Oh, shoot. I already switched away my page.
No,
I can get it for you. Hang on just a second. I'm just vamping for a little bit.
It was
Brian
another
Thomas
guy
Jr.
I was going to say, another guy coming off of injury.
Yes.
He's my fade because if he plays, I think he's still a better chance and hasn't been out quite as long as Terry. But the play is J-Mo because A, I know he's healthy, and B, something tells me, man, Thanksgiving J-Mo is going to be making some splashes tomorrow.
You have a question, you can text it into us, 875-KTGR, when it comes to fantasy football. Tight ends, play fade eliminate. Dalton Schultz, Dalton Kincaid, Theo Johnson.
You love giving me these injured guys. Dalton Kincaid was injured, and he's not practicing today, so he's the eliminate. Easy. Just don't wait on a guy who's on Monday Night Football and he's not currently healthy. He missed last week. Dalton Schultz, who the Texans got this week, Andy? At Indy. Ooh, something tells me in the back of my brain that Indy is a favorable matchup for tight end. Like, in the matchups where it's not favorable against tight end, I don't play Dalton Schultz, but this one is a good one. They've given up the 3rd most yards to the position on the season, 2nd most in terms of yards per game because the Panthers have played an additional game. So, I think Dalton Schultz is a pretty good play, although I don't mind Theo Johnson either, whether it's Jackson Dart or Jameis
I've liked
Winston.
him this year. I've liked how he's done.
He's a fun player. So I will go Schultz because it's a good matchup as my play. Fade Theo, but don't mind him one bit. Eliminate Kincaid because he may not play.
That is a tough one for Monday night. And wait, are they Monday night? No,
yes,
not.
It's Giants.
Dalton Kincaid.
Bills.
Sorry.
Either way, he's
Sunday.
not practicing today. So
it is the late window though, like 3:05. I don't know when the other games start.
Yeah, it's Patriots Giants. Theo's
the one on Monday.
But he's healthy. Like, you don't have to shy away from him.
Yeah.
But you don't know who his quarterback's going to be. So that might be either way, though. Honestly, when you were saying play fade eliminate for receiver, I was thinking Jameis Winston. I'd start him at receiver. That catch he made last week was unbelievable.
That was awesome. It's one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Oh, man, they should have won that game. We will get to our picks of the week to send you into the Thanksgiving holiday next.
Now, your local Sports Center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good evening, I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. Go to leestirecompany.com. Still no word after the Board of Curators meeting today. It was reportedly over the future of Mizzou head football coach Eli Drinkwitz, as Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports reported yesterday that the Curators met in closed session today to discuss authorizing a proposed deal, but not a finalized deal, to Coach Drinkwitz to potentially stay at Mizzou for next season. He's been rumored to be a candidate for other coaching jobs across college football, but we'll see if there's resolution on Eli Drinkwitz's future over the next few days as the Tigers prepare to take on Arkansas for their regular season finale in Fayetteville, 2:30 kickoff on Saturday. Mizzou men's basketball with a win over South Carolina State last night, 98-66. They're 7-0 on the season. Next game is against Cleveland State Friday at 1 p.m. at Mizzou Arena. And the Chiefs ruled out Noah Gray and Trey Smith for their game tomorrow against the Cowboys, but Isaiah Pacheco expected to return from a knee injury as the Chiefs and Cowboys kick off on Thanksgiving at 3:30. Now your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast.
It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. Just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories with real beer flavor that keeps up from kickoff to the post-game recap. So whether you're tailgating or celebrating a win, make Flight your go-to. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Some of y'all may not know, but I'm from the state of Louisiana, which happens to be the birthplace of the turducken. We don't have ducat billiards. So to honor my heritage, we came up with the turberkin. Turkey, famous billiards burger, and chicken. And then I made one. Let's just say, not all my ideas are good, y'all. This holiday season, we're going to stick with our billiards burgers and fresh cut fries.
Looking on down for burgers and beer. Billiards! Homegrown.
Try saying turberkin 5 times fast.
If you're fed up with promised promotions that never come through, or you simply feel overworked and underpaid, maybe it's time for a change. Make sure your job search starts at midmohires.com. There, you can browse lots of local companies hiring for their next superstar employee. Plus, these are local jobs, so you don't have to up and move your whole family just to find a job that you enjoy. If you're looking to move up the ladder, start looking at the job openings posted at midmohires.com. Great local companies hiring great local people. midmohires.com.
Sons of insects, I am Bart the bedbug.
But Bart the bedbug stands 5 millimeters tall.
So I've heard. I've also heard he bites humans by the hundreds, and if he were here, he'd wreak havoc amongst the bed sheets. I am Bart the bedbug, and I see a whole army of ants and rodents, spiders and bedbugs here, in defiance of those who walk upon two legs. You've come to invade as free bugs, and free bugs you are. What would you do without freedom? Will you invade?
Invade? No, we'll scurry off and live.
Aye, scurry and you'll live, but dying in your nests many days from now. Would you trade all those days for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell the humans that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom? Oh, is that Steve's? Never mind, scurry!
I'm Steve with Steve's Pest Control. We will eliminate your pest problem and stop the fall pest invasion. I guarantee it.
Steve's Pest Control. They can't shoot it straight on the golf course, but they can shoot straight on the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. Back to Andy and Brendan on The Big Show on KTGR.
Back here on The Big Show, KTGR and the KTGR app with Andy and Brendan. As we get set for the picks of the week, we also bring back in on the KTGR hotline for the second time today. First the draft and now the picks. Producer Ben is with us to represent the producers once again during this jumbo edition of the picks of the week. We kind of supersized the football because there's just so much on Thanksgiving weekends. I can't pick between a lot of these games to leave out. So there's 10 college football and 8 NFL. And so we'll get ready for that. Last week, I was the winner, 4-1. Producers 2-3, and Brendan.
What happened?
You needed the Niners to save you on Monday night to avoid the 0-5. They did. You didn't go 0-5. That's good.
That's close.
So you went 1-4. You're still in the season lead, but not by as many as you were before. So we'll see if you can climb back into the winning ways here, it would seem, Brendan.
And that's what I'll be looking to do. Yeah, 1-4. We're not proud of that, but it's a holiday week. I think we're excited about the slate and hopefully have some good fortune on our side with these picks.
Okay, I will decide that Brendan goes first. And
taking me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, for sure. Then I'll go second, and the producers will finish us out for the final pick of each round. Here are the games for college football. The three big ones on Friday involving SEC teams. The Egg Bowl, of course. Ole Miss at Mississippi State, Georgia at Georgia Tech and clean old-fashioned hate, and Texas A&M at Texas, the Lone Star Showdown. Then on Saturday, Ohio State at Michigan, Kentucky at Louisville, Miami at Pitt, LSU at Oklahoma, Vandy at Tennessee, Iron Bowl, Alabama at Auburn, and Mizzou at Arkansas. Then the NFL games, the 3 Thursday ones, Packers at Lions, Chiefs at Cowboys, and Bengals at Ravens. Black Friday game between the Bears and Eagles. And then on Sunday, Texans at Colts, 49ers at Browns, Rams at Panthers, and Bills at Steelers. Go ahead, Brendan. Start us off.
I don't like going first this week because I don't have a great feel for a lot of these games, and it could be maybe 2 troublesome weeks in a row for me. But I think I'm going to do something I haven't really done all year and go right to the NFL and try to get involved in some of these Thanksgiving games. I really feel like the Cowboys are going to make life difficult on the Chiefs, and I just like the number I'm getting here. Plus 3.5 at home, where the Cowboys have been extremely potent offensively. I like the over in this game as well, so I'm not even necessarily saying the Chiefs are doomed with this. I just think the Cowboys can keep it within a field goal as they try to score and match pace with whatever Patrick Mahomes may do. Finally getting in a dome for Patrick Mahomes could be exciting for the Chiefs offense, but I think the Cowboys will score too. Give me plus 3.5 on the boys.
All right. I'll start off with my Agent of Chaos pick. Give me Mississippi State. I want them. I don't know if they win. Maybe they don't, but I think they keep this game close. I think they keep this game entertaining. I think we're all sweating out what each drive will mean for Lane Kiffin's future. It's going to be a ball. I'm ready for it. I think they can win the game, but I don't know if they will. But I still like the 7 points as a value, so give me Mississippi State. Producers.
Oh, man, that's a good pick, Andy. That was definitely one that I was looking at going into this one. So props to you for winning last week and picking the order and making the producers go last. But I'll go with Brennan. I'll go to the NFL, but I won't go to the Thursday Thanksgiving games. I'll actually go to the Black Friday game, Bears and Eagles. And I really like the Bears in this one to just win it straight up. And they're dogs on the road in Philadelphia, but it seems like every game the Eagles have played this year has been really close. And I went back and looked, and I think the only 2 games that weren't one-score games for the Eagles were against the Giants. Both times they played them, they beat them by, I want to say 18 one time, and they lost to them by 17 another time. So a lot of these games they're playing are really close, and the Bears, they've played in a lot of really close games as well and been on the winning side of those. So I really like the Bears in this one to win it straight up. So I'll take the Bears to cover the line of the touchdown.
Yeah, +7 is a great number, I think, on the Bears, and that would have been the side I would have chosen as well. So I will not be fading you in that spot, but I got to figure out what the heck to do next. This is going to be a grind each and every time. I'm going to take a line that I don't really trust the line. I don't really trust the team, but I definitely don't trust the team they're playing against. Oklahoma against LSU, the Sooners are -10. It's a huge number. LSU just scored 13 points against Western Kentucky. Their offense stinks. And I think Oklahoma's defense, as we know, is pretty solid. This feels like the type of line for a team that maybe you get a letdown, maybe you get a backdoor cover in most situations. But I think Oklahoma knows like it needs to handle business, and it makes the playoffs. So give me the Sooners -10 hosting LSU this weekend.
Doing our picks of the week here on the Big Show, KTGR, and the KTGR app. I will stay in college as well, and I think Tennessee wins this weekend. I think this is kind of fallen off a bit for Vandy, and that the magic has worn off, whatever it might be. I don't think they win this game on the road. I think Tennessee handles it well. They'll be extra motivated, I think, to beat a Vandy team like this, despite the fact that Tennessee's also basically out of playoff contention. I still think that they'll be up for this game. It's -3, so not a huge number to cover. I think it could still be a close game, but I think it's by more than a touchdown eventually for Tennessee. So give me the Vols at home against Vandy. Ben.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that one, Andy. That one's a little too close to call in my book, but I will flip to the college realm. I'll stick with the Friday games as well. I don't know why I've gone to there, but the Georgia Tech game, I think Georgia rolls in this game. I don't know why. I just have a feeling last week Georgia Tech had their chance to punch their ticket into the ACC title game, have the chance for the auto bid into the college football playoffs. And it's kind of faltered against Pitt. Georgia, they looked pretty solid all year, and especially how last year's game shook out, and I believe 8 overtimes is what it was. When Georgia was hosting, they have to go to Atlanta this year, and I think they just roll in this game against the Yellow Jackets.
Ben's right. They're going to crush them.
I think so, too. Yeah, it feels like you can't set the line a whole lot higher than that just because Georgia Tech is a team that's won a lot of games this year, but I don't know. And that's technically a neutral site because they're playing at Mercedes-Benz, so Georgia Tech doesn't even really get the home field, if you will, advantage in that one, even though it's still being played in Atlanta. I like Georgia as well. I'm going to go with another quasi-road favorite. This one's definitely on the road, but I don't know about this number in the Iron Bowl. Like, I think we're all willing ourselves to see Auburn be able to keep this close and maybe win it and try to inspire additional coaching carousel chaos if you're to believe anything that's being discussed about that Penn State opening. I just think Alabama is going to handle their business in this rivalry game. I will be rooting against my own pick. I'll be honest about that. But Bama -6 is all I have to give against an Auburn team that for the majority of the season just flat out has not been able to score points. Yeah, they've looked better offensively the last couple of weeks since firing Brian Kelly. But I'm going to say Alabama -6 will be my pick. This is a head pick, not a hard pick by any means.
Okay. We'll be interested to see how that one goes, as it's a night game. Usually not a night game. They usually play that in the middle window, but will be interesting to see what happens there. Okay, I'll go to the NFL. I think the Packers win. I think they go on the road and beat the Lions in the first Thanksgiving game of the day. Lions are 2.5-point favorites, but it's essentially like Vegas is saying, we think these two teams are even.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Packers will see an opportunity here. They beat them in Lambeau earlier in the year, and it was kind of a crushing. Like it seemed like there was no contest. And I understand that the Lions might have extra motivation for that, and they're more used to playing on Thanksgiving. But the Packers have been in this situation a lot too. So I actually think the Packers get it done. Plus 2.5. I'll take the Packers on Thanksgiving Day.
All right, I'll stick in the college realm of things, and I'll go to this Kentucky-Louisville game. I just have a feeling that Louisville will win it. They're -3 at home. And Kentucky, they've played better throughout the year, but I think they're just kind of crawling towards the end. They do have a shot to make a bowl game, the Wildcats do, but I have a feeling that Louisville will take care of business. It's a smaller line, but I don't know. I think in these rivalry games, I always tend, unless I really like a team going on the road, I really like to side with the home team. I feel like just a little bit of a safer bet, and I'll agree with you guys. The picks this week, they're just an onslaught. It's going to be difficult to try and go these last two rounds. So that's the one I like right now, and I'll just take Louisville.
I'm normally so comfortable with these college picks, but I just do not feel it this week with a lot of them. And gosh dang, I was even kind of thinking about Lions -2.5, but Andy's explanation for Packers is true. I kind of forgot how definitive that early season game was in favor of the Packers, and the Lions at times have struggled to have that potency on offense against better defenses and contending types of teams. So probably going to stay away from that one as well, which sends me back to college football. Here's one where I'm taking these heavy favorites in rivalry games could be very dangerous for my week, but I guess it can't get a lot worse than I went 1-4 a week ago. So give me Ohio State -10. I think they're the best team in the country. I think that they kind of feel like, last year Michigan got to them, and even though they won the national championship, the Buckeyes faithful still probably looks at that a little bit sideways and said, yeah, but you lost to Michigan. I think Ohio State, even on the road, is going to blast them and kind of show once and for all, like, yeah, Ohio State's as good as the dominance they showed all season long, because Michigan's no slouch. Technically, if Michigan would get a win, they would have an outside look into the college football playoff field. I don't think it's close on this one. Ohio State -10 in the Big House.
Doing our picks of the week here on the Big Show, KTGR and the KTGR app. All right, before anyone else gets a chance to take it, I'll go ahead and gobble up Mizzou -2.5.
You go for it, big boy.
Yeah, I'm taking it. I really do think that they'll.
I am terrified,
and I understand. Like the offense needs a boost from what it had last week, but I think the exact right prescription is Arkansas's defense. So I think that they will score enough to keep Arkansas at arm's length, and that's not a big number to cover. So I just see the value in that. I'll say Mizzou gets it done -2.5.
All right. I'll flip back to the NFL realm. There's not a whole lot of college games I'm looking at that I really like, so I'll go there, and I think I'll go to the Sunday games and give me the Niners. They're on the road in Cleveland, -4.5. Excuse me. They look pretty good on Monday night, and Cleveland looked good with Shedeur Sanders in, but that was against the Raiders, and the Raiders I've not been really high on all year. They haven't looked great, especially as of late. So I'm interested to see how that Niners defense will look towards Shedeur, and I think it might give him a little bit different of a look, and I think he might struggle with it just enough for the Niners to get the win and the cover in this one.
All right, I don't feel great about it, but I'm doing what I'm doing. We're going with the emotional hedge on our last pick. We're taking Arkansas plus the 2.5. In a perfect world, Mizzou wins a close one. Actually, in a perfect world, Mizzou wins by 30. Yeah. But there's just a lot of weirdness surrounding this game, and I'm not comfortable with it, Andy. I need it too for my season win total over 7.5. So just a straight up emotional hedge. I will go Arkansas plus 2.5. I don't think I've really done this all year. If I picked against Mizzou, I believed against Mizzou. This time it's just truly you could toss the coin in the air and see where it lands is how I feel about this game.
All right. We'll see how it goes, but I hope you're wrong, and I know you hope you're wrong.
I would be desperate to be wrong. Yes.
But hey, maybe a 1-point Mizzou win helps you get the double win. All right. I'm seeing this late on the sheet. I don't know why I glanced over it, but I went with the Bengals +7 last week. So why wouldn't I do it again? I know they're on the road. They're taking on the Ravens. It should be a shootout of a game between these two, as it kind of is a lot of the time. But 7 seems a little high with Joe Burrow coming back. And Jamar Chase coming back too. Already served the suspension, right? I know T. Higgins isn't out there, but I think
he'll be out.
Chase being out there is more important. I'll take the Bengals +7. I don't know if they win, but they'll keep it close enough to where it's interesting. Maybe they get a chance to down 5, drive down the field, get a touchdown to win it. We'll see. But I'll take the Bengals +7. Close us out, producers.
That's weird. I don't think I've had the chance to do that all year long for us. So a little bit of a different position, but we're kind of down to both Andy and Brendan. So we're going to have to try and go back and grab for some stuff. And surely Michigan can't beat Ohio State 5 years in a row, right? I think chaos will ensue, and I think Michigan will keep this game close. The weather up in Ann Arbor isn't going to be great. I think right now they're maybe calling for some snow to go down, and weather is a great equalizer in football. So I think chaos will happen. I think that the Ohio State fans are like, oh, surely it can't happen again. It can't. And I think Ohio State may be able to win it, but I think if they do, it's going to be really, really close. So give me Michigan +10 in the Big House.
I hope it ends up that way. That game is so much more fun when it's close, and it has been the last few years. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking to the producers actually getting that right, and we'll see what happens there. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Picks of the Week. We appreciate you joining us all this week as you get ready for your Thanksgiving festivities. And be sure to join us on Monday at 4 o'clock as we try to make sense of all the wild things that could be happening throughout these next 4 days. Stay tuned tonight. We've got NBA coverage from ESPN Radio, Timberwolves and Thunder to kick off your long weekend of sports. And so be sure to stay tuned for that. We'll see you again on Monday at 4 o'clock. He's Brendan. He's producer Ben. I'm Andy. We're done for now.
It was 2:30 on a Tuesday when the phone rang. Brian Ware Plumbing answered the call.